The Black Cat by John Milne. Introductory note. The main character in this story is called Saladin. He's an inspector in the Egyptian police. His job is to protect Egyptian antiquities. And antiquity is something which is very old. There are many antiquities in Egypt. Most of them are valuable. Many of them are in museums in Cairo or in Europe. But there are many others which have not yet been found. These antiquities are buried under the sands in tombs or in pyramids. There are many archaeologists working in Egypt. Archaeologists study ancient cities and tombs. Sometimes they find antiquities. They must give all these antiquities to the Egyptian government. But some archaeologists try to keep them. Saladin's job is to stop this happening. Saladin has studied history at Cairo University and at the University of London. He has visited many museums in Cairo and in Europe. The people in this story: Saladin, Ahmed, the taxi driver, Fuad, Leila, and Borkman. Archaeologist murdered. Yesterday morning, an archaeologist was found dead in a Cairo hotel. The archaeologist was called Pearson. The police are making enquiries. Routes in this story: a shipping route from Venice to Piraeus, and from Piraeus to Alexandria, from Alexandria to Beirut and Baalbek. Another airlines route from Rome to Cairo, from Cairo to Beirut, and from Beirut to Athens. Chapter 1. Saladin is worried. Saladin was sitting in his office with his coat off. It was the month of May in Cairo and it was very hot. Saladin stood up and turned on the fan. He was a young man, only 28 years old. He was not very tall and quite thin. His black hair was cut very short. Saladin's office was in the center of Cairo. It was in a large building behind the Nile Hotel. It was a small office and Saladin's name was not on the door. Not many people knew that he was a detective, but he was not an ordinary detective. Inspector Saladin protected all the antiquities of Egypt. Saladin was waiting for an archaeologist called Mr. Pearson. Pearson had been in Egypt for 6 months. He had been working in a valley in the south of Egypt. Pearson had been looking for antiquities. He had come back to Cairo a few days ago and was leaving Egypt soon. But Mr. Pearson hadn't come to Saladin's office. Every archaeologist had to see Saladin before they left Egypt. Saladin was worried. Pearson hadn't come yet. Saladin picked up the telephone and rang the number of Pearson's hotel. "Nile Hotel," said the voice. "Can I help you?" "Can I speak to the manager, please?" said Saladin. Saladin waited for a few moments. Then he heard the manager's voice. "Can I help you?" said the manager. "Yes," replied Saladin. "My name's Saladin Al-Nur. I'm a police inspector. I want to speak to Mr. Pearson." "Do you mean Mr. Pearson, the archaeologist?" asked the manager. "Yes," replied Saladin. "I'm sorry. You can't speak to Mr. Pearson, sir," said the manager. "Oh," said Saladin in surprise. "Why not?" "Mr. Pearson is dead," replied the manager. "He was found dead in his room this morning. Mr. Pearson was murdered."